Howdy, Gary.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:30. I'd like to ask you to please join me as we stand for a moment of silence and follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Brad Hand.
Here.
Ken Snyder.
Here.
Pete Hamill.
Here.
Chantel Ostra. Here. Tom Eggers.
Here.
All right, next item up is the approval of the agenda. I'll take a motion for that.
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hand.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamill.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
All right, now we've moved into the public forum portion of our meeting. Is there anyone here present today that would like to address the council? Please state your name for the record.
Terry Broxma, 1630 Pleasant Gore Drive, Sheldon. I'd like to address the council and the paper. I read the article about the police chief resigning, and I've got some problems with this. As you guys know, I watch the budget carefully. I watched the thing grow from about $500,000 when you hired him to over $800,000 now. He's increased his staff. He's got a K-9 unit. He's got new vehicles for everybody. And he's talking about obstacles to getting his job done. And the paper's calling for an investigation about the fact that he doesn't like being managed. My opinion is this. If you've got an employee that you've bent over backwards to try to give him what he needs to get his job done, and he's complaining about obstacles publicly and then not naming them in the paper, that is not a leader of any department. And my opinion is this. If you've got somebody unhappy with what's been done for him, if you're going to investigate, I'd say take a look at his statistics, which he has for, all the arrests he makes and the fines he levies, how many convictions he gets, and how many fines are collected. There's a lot of difference between padding your stats and effective policing. And if that's what we're going to investigate, let's look into that. And in my opinion, if somebody's unhappy, the best result for us as a city and a city council is that the guy resigns. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Anyone else wishing to address the council at this time? I do have a written comment from Marvin Reeson. And this is, as I have it in front of me, I'm going to repeat it per his statements. In light of the departure of city employees, most recently the chief of police, I want the council to conduct an investigation into why it's occurring. I would like to have the council reevaluate paying Postma anything for the old Bethel property. It's not the city's fault that he incurred extra costs. I never got an answer if a city employee promised money for this beforehand. And finally, did the city take bids on the crack sealing or whatever they are doing in town now? Is Beck the city engineer on these projects? Just because Sam is buddies with the Beck guy doesn't mean we have to give them all our business. That can be entered as well. Moving on to the consent agenda, I'll take a motion for approval on that.
I'd like to have item F put under new business.
Okay. We will move that then into discussion down under new business. That's all right? We'll probably dovetail it in with the police chief vacancy discussion. Okay, with that being moved, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So move.
Support.
Okay, roll call, please.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
All right. Item 5 is discussion on flood recovery. A general update, is that going to be you or Todd?
I can start.
Okay.
And Todd can carry it on. He has some updates for us too. So I've got some information. I forwarded this on to you late yesterday, but Jared Johnson said there had been 191 valid registrations with FEMA individual assistance. Todd and Angie and I and Tanya had a good meeting with FEMA. They're very responsive, in my opinion. I've talked to people who applied just the other day and are already receiving notice of awards. And FEMA's also explained the appeals process if you disagree with the amount. But as of I guess this morning, there's been 191 valid registrations in O'Brien County. $800,000 has been awarded so far. So I want to encourage everyone to do this if you have any damage, and you can go out to the city's website and there's a FEMA link there, and it's really not a difficult process. And if you have pictures, the pictures will help streamline the process. As far as the rest of it goes, I think probably the biggest discussion today would be the curbside pickup and the City Park dumpsters. Todd and Angie and I did issue a last call. I mean, we can certainly move the goalposts if we need to, but at some point we do need to draw it down. So perhaps the outcome of today's discussion would be is we proceed with our final pickup on Friday morning and the dumpster removal, and then which coincides with our first FEMA deadline, but that doesn't mean that we have to wrap it up on Friday. But I don't know, Todd, if you have anything to add on that? No? Okay.
A big question regarding that. Is it tailing off? I mean, as far as the number of loads going out per day?
Yeah, I think it is some, at least at City Park, and the piles on the curb seem to be substantially less. But
Yes.
I have a concern in that, okay, I've got a pickup truck and I have tools and the ability to do the work myself to a certain point, and I'll have to struggle to get it done by Friday. I can't imagine what some people are going through if they're waiting for a contractor or waiting for some kind of help. I'm fortunate I have kids that live in town that were very helpful. My concern is, I understand there has to be a cutoff, and I understand that we have already spent a lot of money. Friday, we're going to hopefully get a determination of where FEMA fits into that equation. I would like the ability of saying, yes, okay, we're going to do the last run on Friday, and we can talk about the dumpsters. But then maybe do a follow-up in a couple of weeks, or we see what the demand is. I think that, I guess I understand that 8 Days of Hope has now finished. I shouldn't say that, has left town. I don't think they were finished. I want to make sure that people understand we want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I'm concerned about that.
Okay. Anyone else have thoughts or comments on that?
I'd say leave the dumpsters out there for another week or so, see how it goes.
Do you know how many loads have been pulled out with the dumpsters?
I believe Mark reported 21 have been taken out so far.
So that's a good number. I was expecting it to be a little higher, actually, but...
Well, and it's mostly flood stuff. It's not all flood stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
There's been some abuse, but I don't know that I would call it horrendous abuse yet.
You're always going to have that, I think.
Yep, no arguments there, Pete.
I would love to tell you a solution, but I don't know what it is.
Not gonna park somebody there.
no. You think we need them out a couple more weeks yet, Brad?
I'd say at least another week. But I'm open to anything.
Because we got council meeting in 2 weeks, we could reassess at that point is where I was going with this, I guess.
They're pretty full today, and they were still emptying them. Somebody was there bringing it now, and they're almost full again, so.
Okay. Tricia, did you want to say something?
I have a family member who just had FEMA at their house yesterday, and it went very well. But now they can finish cleaning out the rest of their stuff, and with his work schedule today and tomorrow, he won't be able to get, on Friday, he will not be able to finish removing the paneling and anything else until at least Saturday. So if the city could a week, I know he would appreciate that. So just speaking on a different point of view, and very thankful for the FEMA and support that he's gotten there too.
So Mayor,
Yes.
I would support a 2-week extension. That way we can get an assessment at the next council meeting and make a decision on bringing any finality to the current program.
Okay.
Is that, just for my clarification, is that curbside and dumpsters, or is that just dumpsters?
I would say just dumpsters.
You're talking just dumpsters, Tom?
Well, I think to the point made earlier, I think we need to stay flexible, but it's easier to stay flexible with the dumpsters right now. If we find that there's a lot of curbside that still needs to be dealt with for citizens who can't use dumpsters, then I think we can reassess it again in 2 weeks.
Tell me again, what was the idea with the final pass with the curbside pickup? What day was that going to be, or haven't we set?
Friday.
This Friday.
There's a contractor scheduled to start pickup on curbside.
Right. So let's see what another 2 weeks brings for curbside, and we can decide at the next meeting if we need to do another curbside or not.
So as far as do the Friday one this Friday and then hold off until then, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying let's just leave the dumpster out for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then do our go ahead.
And let the curbside happen on this Friday, and then reassess curbside and the dumpsters at the next council meeting.
Okay. Can we do that by consensus, or do we need a motion?
By consensus is fine.
Is everyone agreeable with that plan?
I do.
Yep,
Yep. Right.
Okay.
yep.
By consensus, we'll go for 2 more weeks with the dumpsters in the park and reassess another pickup if need be at curbside.
Fair enough.
Okay, good. Any more discussion regarding updates or anything on flood relief, flood recovery?
Well, I can just tell you that we are hopeful that later this week or early next week, we'll bore in the new 10-inch water main on the highway. Once we do that, then we can go ahead, or under the river by the highway. Once we do that, then we can get some testing done and hopefully get those 8 customers off of the boil advisory. Just so you know, the estimate to get that work done is around $210,000. At this point, there is no FEMA funding for that. There is no FEMA funding for the lift station, the North Fifth lift station work that needs to be done. That we've probably got 100 into that already, and I would guess we've got another 100 or 150 coming on that yet before things are back operational again. We're working on some trail cleanup. We hope to have the section between Hills Park and County Line Road open sometime this week. We're just getting the water pumped off there. There was still a big pond there, kind of to the west of Hills Park. The section that goes from County Line Road underneath the highway bridge, you know, down and exits out on 16th Street by Sudbeck's, that's going to be quite some time before that's open. There's a lot of debris on there. There's a fair amount of trail damage on there. There's chunks of trail missing underneath the river. There's chunks of trail missing down by the NCC bridge. At this point, I'm not aware of whether or not there'll be any FEMA funding to help with that. O'Brien and Sioux counties both have had categories A and B awarded. Parks are in category G, water facilities are in category D, other public utilities are in a different category anyway. So we'll hopefully find out more. Sam mentioned our first deadline, which is Friday. So that's what that is, and it's got to go to both counties. This is not a fun time to be a community that's housed in 2 counties because everything is split by that imaginary line that goes down Western Avenue. So we'll be reporting to Sioux County our damages that are outside of categories A and B. We'll be reporting to O'Brien County our damages in O'Brien County that are outside categories A and C. From there, then they'll start to make determinations on whether or not they're to add any other categories. Yes.
Question. So everything, the bridge, underneath the bridge and the part by the, that's all in Sioux County, isn't it?
You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
there's
Sioux
really
County has the same.
probably not much in O'Brien County. Oh, no.
Well, the North Fifth lift station.
Yeah.
Almost all the bypass pumping.
Okay.
Too well.
Almost all of the debris removal, right? Cleaning up the people's basements and whatever, whether or not that's going to qualify.
All right.
We have a meeting, Ange and I and Sam, and I guess I don't know if anybody else is doing it or not. We have another meeting with FEMA on Friday to hopefully learn a little more about categories A and B. We'll need to set up and actually apply for assistance. Just because they award the categories doesn't mean you're automatically getting assistance. It means you can apply for certain things and then they'll determine what assistance you get from there. We've been through it, I don't know, I think this is my 5th or 6th or 7th FEMA application, so, and Angie's as well, so it's not like we haven't done it before. We'll see what happens.
So just the numbers you're throwing out, are we getting close to $1 million by the time this is all done and said?
Easily. Yeah, so the 100,000 you approved, thanks, we're gonna need to look at doing another one here pretty quick.
I have a question as far as funding. Let's assuming they tell us to pound sand. What are our options for funding that? Can we use anything, TIF or anything?
Yeah, there's several options. One of the options is that you could do you know, an internal loan and pay for it with TIF. You could do an emergency. I believe you could do it. There's some of it that might be eligible for SRF. We'd have to check into that. I think there's an emergency code section to SRF that we could look at.
Okay, so there
we
might
have
be
several
some
options.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
good enough. Thank you.
What it does mean is that our discretionary
And
spending.
I'm not suggesting that makes it free. I'm just
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it most likely have an effect on our long-term capital improvement plan and what projects we could do, right? If we have to spend out some
Okay.
other cash. But at least we have some cash, Pete. This is another reason why it's when you made the decision to actually build some cash reserves in the water and wastewater fund, but that was an extremely smart decision. That you have a little bit of money in case you need some cash on hand versus having nothing. That's all I have unless you have other questions. We'll continue to do what we can as quickly as we can and try to keep it moving.
Thank you. And thanks to everyone that's worked so hard on this. It's greatly appreciated.
I'll pass it along.
Question for clarification, with Sam's comments on FEMA, on his explanation of what FEMA is allowing individuals to do for claims. Is there a minimum damage requirement that FEMA will consider, or can any and all damages be submitted for their approval?
Am I? Yes, I've helped out with a couple of applications now, and the short answer is yes, you can submit anything. There's a level for minimum, medium, and severe, and another category for total loss. So there's 4 categories, and then it's up to FEMA, and they're sending out investigators, or caseworkers, would be a better word, and yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to put on record that so the citizenry of Sheldon understand that they're open to submit. So I didn't want them to think that there was other limitations without it being spoken. So thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, if I might. There are standards and percentages, and I don't know what that magic formula is. We asked what that formula was, and it's not something that they were able to share with us. But I did have a citizen that informed me yesterday that last week they had applied and they had submitted about $39,000 in losses and is receiving about $4,000, and they chose not to appeal and accept that. But FEMA does have an appeals process as well.
Okay. Thanks again.
We can move forward. I'd like to move on to new business. Item A is a resolution authorizing the advancement of costs for an urban renewal project and certification of expenses incurred by the city for payment under Iowa Code Section 403.19. Anything you'd like to comment on at this point, Sam?
No, this is not much. This is per the discussion on June 19, and it was added to new business rather than consent, simply as a courtesy since the last vote had not been unanimous. So this merely follows through on the prior discussion.
Okay. Any questions?
I would suggest that, I might be confused on this, but it seems to me that there was an easement granted a number of years ago as a settlement of a DNR infraction that was incurred by the previous owner. And I thought that was in fact in place. I might be wrong, but I know there was a DNR infraction, and part of their settlement was that they gave an easement on that portion for the trail. But I mean, that needs to be investigated.
If I might.
Yes.
I believe, Pete, you're referring to item 4J, which was approved on consent,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and we're talking about 6A.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, I am. And so I still think it ought to be investigated. Sorry, I get my head screwed on straight here.
I move we accept the resolution as stated.
All right. Do we have support for that?
I'll support that.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers,
Aye.
Ostra, Aye.
Hint,
No?
Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder.
All right, we're going to put in, first begin this next item by taking up point F of the consent agenda. We've now moved down below, and that is accepting the resignation notice from Police Chief Birch of August 30, 2024. Comments? Going to take it this time?
My explanation speaks for itself.
Okay. Any from the council?
I just wish we would have been able to work this out, between the council and the police chief and be able to get this ironed out before it came to this. Because he's done a good job. We've supported him all along. I've had a great relationship working with him on behalf of the fire chief and the fire department.
Anyone else? Okay. Then we need a motion to accept the resignation notice from Chief Birch.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Ostra,
Aye.
Eggers,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Hint,
No?
Hamel,
Aye.
All right, then moving forward to item 6B, police chief vacancy. Sam, do you have comments concerning that at all at this time?
Hopefully you've had a chance to read the explanation. I don't think I need to go through the entire thing. You have several options to consider. Mayor and I will be, it's a mayoral appointment, interim chief, so that's something that he'll be taking under consideration shortly. So we hope to have an update coming very soon. And you know, there's several options for handling the vacancy itself. There's the full consultant option. There's the consultant a la carte option, which Jeff lays out in his memo as needed, which is similar to what happened last time. Last time there was a fair amount of work that I did and Angie did to help streamline the process and reduce city costs. You could also post it for a standard amount of time and handle it that way and not use a consultant at all. And you don't have to make a decision today. You know, you could think about it and discuss it in 2 weeks.
Okay. Any question for Sam regarding that, or comments about how you think we should be proceeding at this time?
I have a comment, and it's probably not going to be well-liked, but since it's a mayoral appointment, I do believe that the police chief should report to the mayor/council, since it is a mayor's appointment, and I think that's how it was in the old code. He reported to the mayor, and it was switched when we changed the code a year or so ago to be under the city manager. And I strongly believe it needs to be under the mayor and the council. I know people will disagree with me.
Any other comments?
Was that change, was there a resolution, and the council agreed for that change?
I believe it's when we changed the whole code of ordinances. We changed back to the city manager.
Okay.
And I was on when we changed it from the city manager to the mayor. because we had an issue. My phone blew up today with people talking to me about this. That the police chief needs to report to the mayor. Or we need to have either an administrative chief, or we need to have a working chief. What do we want? And we, the council, needs to decide that. Because we had an administrative chief, now we have a working chief, and it seems like some people don't like a working chief.
Isn't there a job description in place?
I'm sure there is.
Okay. Maybe we need to look at that, I don't know.
Maybe we do, maybe we need to look at the whole thing.
But as far, I guess in my opinion, it's a department of the city and we have a general manager and that's where it ought to stay.
I would like to see a job description. I mean, where do we find that?
Is it,
In our office, we would have them.
Okay.
we can have it sent out if you'd like, emailed out tomorrow.
I appreciate that, yeah.
We can do that.
Another consideration regarding reporting structure, and I don't have the answer to it, but I also think that it's one that needs to be answered, is that if we're changing the structure of reporting because of an issue in personalities or anything outside of normal business, then let's keep that from happening at the mayor's level, or, you know what I'm saying? The same situation could happen under anyone's management structure. So why change the structure if the structure really doesn't address, you know?
Michael, were you looking at policy just a little bit ago? I saw you scrolling. Were you looking at policy from before, or?
I was just taking a look at the 2019 version of the city code, which basically has the same language as the 2023 language.
So it was 2019, that structure was in place when Chief Birch was hired?
If I'm looking at the correct code, yes.
Okay. I think that's right, too. I think we had that wording in effect at that time, and it was written into the job description as well, if I recall correctly. So to say that it was changed just recently, I don't think that is a correct statement.
I recall, yeah, I pretty much recall we had an issue that we changed it.
So we'll look into it. Any other comments moving forward? Do you want to think about the contract offer from Jeff Kaler and to bring it back again to our meeting in 2 weeks?
I think that we ought to wait and talk about it again in 2 weeks. I think that maybe there can be some more discovery in those 2 weeks and we might have better information.
I would agree with that.
Anyone else have a problem with that? Tom, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. That's
You're
good. Fine with me.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else regarding, anyone who wants to make comment on regarding this item B of the new business, 6B? If not, let's move on then to item C, which is to set a hearing date to consider the appeal of code enforcement action at 523 10th Street, Aaron Bacon. I would suggest we set that for 2 weeks hence. Does that work? No?
We need to make it work with Steve's calendar
Oh.
and my calendar.
Okay.
I just got an email looking at potentially September 4th,
Okay.
based on when the council meetings are and various conflicts.
If there's no issues with that, we would consider a motion that we do it, set it 4th of September.
I'd support that.
Okay, we have a motion, is there support for that?
I'll support.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
All right, let's move on then to reports. Anything further from you, Sam?
Nope.
Todd, anything from you?
Just that chip sealing is finishing up, should be finished up today. They won't be working tomorrow. We hope to do the fog sealing on Friday, and then that work will be done and out of town. We have a pre-construction meeting on July 18th for the Oak Street replacement project, so hopefully we'll be able to firm up a schedule when they want to get started there, but just know that that project is getting close. And then I have a meeting actually tomorrow to review 90% plans on the 2024 patching project and the culvert replacement projects for 16th Street and Wyman Street. So lots of construction activity still
I have a question, Todd. On the new water tower, how do you feel? Are you happy with that, where it's at, or?
Well, I should have mentioned that. Thank you for bringing it up. We're actually using the new water tower. Hey, first time in a while. So, yeah, it's going fine. We're having some minor control SCADA issues that we're working through with the contractor. Nothing of great concern, but it is full. It is in use. Yeah, we'll get those other issues worked out. They still got to come back and do site grading and seeding and whatnot this fall.
But it is being used.
It is being used, yes.
Outstanding. All right.
Are you hearing comments from people about water pressure coming in the house at all, or?
No, and I didn't expect we would, Mayor. So the pressure is, the static pressure is still the same, because the two towers, while they're 20-some feet different in height, still provide the same amount of pressure throughout the community. Where I think some people might notice it is during high flow times, there were areas of town that saw more dips in pressure, and that should stabilize now with the second tower. And then obviously there's a lot more water there for fire protection with some of the new big structures that are going up. So it should be a more consistent, not more pressure, but a more consistent pressure across the system, and then more water available for customers. So it's been a good project. We are working on right now on getting an engagement agreement from DGR to actually take Tower 1, the old tower, down and do an exterior sandblast and recoat of that, because it needs done badly. Been waiting to get this tower online. It's in this next fiscal year's budget. So you will see more activity on that. So we'll be back to a one tower system while that project is in process. And it's getting late enough now. I'm going to guess that's most likely going to be a spring, summer of 2025 that project.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are any of you getting feedback on the brightness of the lights? Todd and I have gotten a little bit,
Negative or positive?
either one.
I think people like it.
I like that it lights up that corner.
Yeah. I think we should paint the other water tower to match it.
You,
Oh, boy.
What's that?
Oh, boy.
I have, but no, I have mentioned that. If you want the other tower, when that contract comes in front of you, if you want that thing to be something other than white with black lettering,
I think it looks nice.
you need to tell us.
You drive around, no matter where you drive, you see people paint their water towers. They look nice. Tells the story of the town.
I have not heard complaints about the brightness of the lights.
I have not either.
I do appreciate the lit up corner, because you missed the stop sign.
So, all right.
Do you happen to know when the mosquitoes are going to be sprayed again in town?
They will carry you away.
I've been promised that we will be sprayed this week. Rumor has it they are going to attempt to come tonight. Don't beat me up if that doesn't happen. But, and also don't expect the spraying this week to be the savior. It will help, but the population is so thick. But hopefully it just slows them down a little.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Tanya, anything from you today? Okay. Scott, anything you'd like to say? Nicole, anything from you? Tricia, since you're here, anything you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, our sign should begin construction hopefully tomorrow out front.
Okay, great. Angie?
Nothing.
Mike, anything further?
No, thank you.
Council to my left? No. To my right?
I just want to say thank you to Scott and wish you well in your future.
And Tom, anything from you?
No, just voice the same. Appreciate all the work you've done for us, Scott, and we're wishing the best. And want to say thank you to all the employees again for all the efforts related to the flood situation. What a great effort. What a great community we have. Thanks.
That's for sure. Thank you, Tom. The only thing I have, and it was in an email today from the SEDC office, they're asking for volunteers for help with celebration days. So if we could get the media, get a plug for that. There's several jobs open, hour to hour and a half time slots. If you could fill in and help make that event a success, we'd appreciate that as well. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Hand,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Ostra,